Good morning, Mario, and okay, it's a little bit loud. Good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. I don't want to assault your eardrums, especially if you're watching this in the actual morning. Please let it be known that it's really hard for me to get these up in the morning because I'm West Coast time. And ever since I moved to the West Coast, Good Morning Mario has been like good afternoon evening Mario, and I'm gonna try to fix that. Let me know in the comments down below. Would you rather these videos go up every day at like 8, 9, 10 a.m. Eastern? Would that be better if they were early morning videos? Do you care that Good Morning Mario goes up in the evening? I'm really trying to make this the best experience possible for you, and I'm trying to impart some new changes and content on the channel. You'll see that soon, but do you want these to try to go up earlier? It's just been really tricky with West Coast stuff, and the 3-hour delay has just thrown things into a frenzy where I'm not able to post as early. But let me know if that bothers you, doesn't bother you, you don't watch it in the morning, you're listening in the morning anyways. Without further ado, though, what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce Nintendo News. Chow, chow, chow. They finally woke up. No, they didn't. Actually, Nintendo's going backwards. I don't think that's the right move. I don't think going backwards is the right move based on where they're at, but we'll get there. All right, they've got a brand new game trial. It's kicking off in the UK. I imagine it'll come to the US soon. That is NBA 2K23. Now, kind of a weird pick for a game trial, but also unique. It's expanding into a different genre for the game trial. It kicks off on June 7th to June 13th. We are now in the month of June, so we're summer loving our Switches, and you're still probably summer loving Zelda, which I understand. In Japan, it's up to 1.5 million physical units sold, meaning it's over 2 million when you count digital. This game continues to be amazing, and Nintendo hopes that you continue playing this until whenever they're ready to announce something new. But they aren't the ones announcing something new today. Instead, it's Ubisoft. Ubisoft said they would be part of E3, but now that E3 is bye-bye, they're not going to be part of Summer Games Fest. Jeff Keighley was not able to woo over Rayman, the Rabbids, Watch Dogs, and Altair. Instead, they're having a Ubisoft Forward presentation on June 12th. Now, what's interesting about this presentation on June 12th is that they announced the games that are going to be there. It's not all the games. I'm sure they'll still cover some bits and bobs along the way, including my prediction for Mario Rabbids DLC. But they specifically say they're going to be showing off Avatar, which I know will not come to Switch, but I'm personally very excited for. I really like Avatar 1 and 2. I think the movies are fantastic. I think they look great, and I love Pandora. I mean, I love it at Disney World, and I would love to play in it, provided it's a cool game. So I'm excited to see a big reveal for that. I think that'll end up being Ubisoft's big holiday game. They also say that they're going to be showing off stuff from The Crew. Not really sure if you care so much about The Crew. Assassin's Creed Mirage, which, man, based on our discussion yesterday, getting some notable premier third-party titles, if they can somehow work AC Mirage onto Switch, I would be gung-ho. But then they say this game. They show a mystery game, and it's got a gold and black background. Now, most likely, this is like a new Division or a new Watch Dogs or something along the lines where they can throw it online and try to make a bunch of money. But what if Ubisoft was ready to unveil their next Nintendo partnership? Remember, they've done this twice. 3 times, actually. Mario plus Rabbids 1 and 2, let's count that as the 2 separate games that they are. And then Starlink did a Star Fox crossover. You might forget about that one, but please don't. Star Fox needs the love. And maybe Ubisoft has another Nintendo crossover. It would be the perfect year for it because Nintendo sure doesn't seem to have a ton, at least as of yet. So a new Ubisoft Nintendo crossover title would be grand. There's also the chance that nothing is announced for Switch. More and more, I just wonder if these third parties are holding out for that new system and waiting for it to release before they actually start porting premier games over, because these premier games need more hardware oomph, and the Switch just can't provide it. Nonetheless, we're coming up on this, right? The 8th is Summer Games Fest. We got Devolver Digital, which I am personally so psyched for. Volvi is back. Kind of brings back bad memories, but at the same time, Plucky Squire, Gunbrella, and Pepper Grinder, and that game with the foot. Ubisoft Forward could be interesting, and I almost can guarantee you we will see Mario plus Rabbids DLC, so Switch will feature in some capacity. I just hope it's larger than just downloadable content. I freaking love this. One thing that I've tried to keep out of the videos is like super quirky fun stories, because I know I personally like them, but I don't know if you do, but to heck with it, I'm bringing it back. Senior Switch Sports is here. This is an amazing addition that I really love, and I am so pumped for this. I wish that I could go to to Senior Switch Sports at the Deptford Library. All right, this is a pretty darn cool program where seniors can come to the library in Gloucester County. The next sesh is on Thursday, June 13th, and if you're looking for some low impact exercise, you can come as long as you're over 55, and you can play sword play, golf, soccer, volleyball, and badminton, and partake with other oldies and get your flexibility on. Look, I even need flexibility training. I go to a stretch class, so I think this is pretty awesome. They say we purchased a Nintendo Switch video game and a bunch of controllers. They purchased the video game, not the console. A Nintendo Switch video game. We can have up to 4 people bowling or playing tennis at the same time. Really advertising the big hitters, anyone over 55, constantly trying to meet the needs of our patrons. It's good, low impact exercise in a safe environment. Shout out to libraries. How many of you don't go to a library or haven't been? Like, there are people out there that have not been to a public library. Public libraries were a fixture of my youth. They now rent video games and do all sorts of fancy things, but back in the day, I just got a bunch of books and sometimes would use the internet because they had a bunch of computers with the internet. It was a magical place, and now the magic is coming back. I love this. Nintendo backwards. Nintendo forwards. They've been relatively silent since Tears of the Kingdom, and it's understandable. That game has been their Giga game, and it will be their Giga game, and until their next Direct, I don't think we'll hear much of anything. They did make that slight peep over in Canada about Mario Kart's next Course Booster Pass wave, but that's Canada. This, though, is Tokyo. And unfortunately, one of Nintendo's studios is shutting down, or rather a studio that's really supported and helped Nintendo up to their most recent release with Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe. The studio known as Vanpool has been shuttered. This is an independent Tokyo studio that has worked closely with Nintendo for years. They made games themselves like Dylan's Rolling Western for the 3DS, and they also helped on Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga, freshly picked Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land, and Chibi Robo Ziplash. They were a portable developer powerhouse, assisting on some of Nintendo's cooler and quirkier games, and to me that's the saddest part, is that this is a quirky studio. Dylan's Rolling Western is a unique title, okay? Ziplash with Chibi Robo is a unique title, and I also love Fire Chibi Robo when Direct season is coming. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, not very quirky, but clearly Nintendo was utilizing them, and they actually helped HAL Laboratory on other Kirby titles. Now, part of the evil side of me maybe thinks that maybe this means less Kirby and more other characters, but at the same time I'm just confused why Vanpool is going away. I feel like Nintendo is at a point where they could experiment, express themselves more creatively, and introduce interesting IP and characters. Dylan is a pretty sexy new character, okay? Chibi Robo is a definitely underappreciated character. Tingle is somebody that we all should know and love. Nintendo has embraced the Inklings fully, but other than that, who else? The answer is nobody. It feels like since Rosalina, there's nothing really added to the Nintendo mainstay fray, and Vanpool could have been the people that added to it. They could have been responsible for a new IP, a new idea, a quirky new type of game that isn't Mario Golf and also isn't Mario Party. It isn't another Pokemon, and it's definitely not Zelda, but it could have been something unique and fun. And I think given the Switch's humongous install base, now is when developers like Vanpool should be given a golden brick and say, hey, go do whatever you want. It's odd and interesting that Nintendo Switch, despite all of its successes, does seem to leave some things behind. And we've seen some very prominent portable studios shutter. If you recall, Alpha Dream, the studio behind Mario & Luigi, is no more, and now Vanpool joins them in the graveyard as well. Is this because Nintendo's portable scene has basically poofed? At the same time, Nintendo has increased some portable games to console counterparts, with stuff like Luigi's Mansion and Fire Emblem really gaining steam. Even 2D Metroid is on Switch, so why not these games? I wonder what the discussions are like behind the scenes and with the executives, where they're cherry-picking certain portable franchises to pull forward into the modern era and leaving many others behind. To me, Mario & Luigi would be a perfect Switch game. Amazing things you could do with that franchise and have it fit in a different lane than so much else you do with Mario on Nintendo Switch. Even Dylan's Rolling Western could get a surprise sequel, but now it can't. And I guess they were only good for helping with Kirby. Because at some point, Nintendo does do what makes the most money, and One of the dark sides of Nintendo Switch success is it shows them where the money really lies. Now, they have been fan-centric with things like Metroid Dread, and I hope they will go back that direction with other characters soon. But currently, not a lot of new IP out there. It took eons for Pikmin 4 to come out, even though that's a smaller Nintendo franchise, and I'm very grateful for it. But why are we shuttering these studios that could do super cool things? I don't know the behind the scenes, the financials, the management, the issues, but it's pretty much a bummer when Nintendo could be utilizing the final years of Switch to promote really cool small developers like Alpha Dream and Vanpool, and instead they're gone. Again, what is happening next for Nintendo? What's their step forward? Because this to me is a step back. It's supposed to be the merging of the portable and home console scenes, and it's been that way for indie and for some premier franchises, but I do feel like a lot of the quirkier titles have been left behind. Things like Pushmo that might not see the light of day ever again. If you recall, Nintendo did make a Box Boy game for Switch, and I don't think it did all that well, so maybe some attempts ended up cutting off future attempts, but I think they should go back. Unfortunately for Vanpool and Alpha Dream, there is no going back. So pour one out, a glass of tea for Dylan, a character that at one point was considered to be a hypothetical Smash Brothers character, and now is back in the ground. Some may say where he belongs. I say absolutely where he doesn't. Let me know your take in the comments down below. Are you bummed about smaller studios and more creative outlets working with Nintendo going kaputs? I am. Thanks so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive. Appreciate all your support. Until next time, SwitchForce out.